Hey friends, welcome back for lesson 3. This is all about balanced meals and portion sizes. So let's get right into it. So we're going to focus on nutrition over calories. And last session, we actually broached this subject. We talked about how if you had 100 calories of Twizzlers versus 100 calories of a steak, that's not going to be that's not going to work exactly the same in the body, right? You're going to get much more nutrition out of the steak than out of the Twizzler. So the idea, and maybe something that you've heard in the past, is that a calorie is a calorie. Well, that isn't necessarily true, and we're going to explain why that isn't true. So this lesson is all about creating a balanced, nutritious meal in the perfect portion size for your body. We will show you how to look at your meal from the perspective of its nutrient density, and that's just how many vitamins and minerals it contains, rather than just its calorie content. We will also explain how to measure your portion sizes without having to get out a calculator, have a scale, or to take a physics class. And the 2 handouts that we have this week will help you track both what and how much you are eating, because both are important. So, creating a meal that contains an abundance of nutrients is a smart idea. Our body is literally made from the food that we feed it. Our skin cells, muscles, hormones, and even our immune system rely on nutrients to repair, grow, and function properly. So, if you're eating crappy, poor quality processed food that lacks nutrients, how can you possibly create happy, healthy cells? You can't. From a nutrition perspective, the key goals when creating a meal are to provide a meal that keeps blood sugar levels stable, ensure as much nutrition as possible is on that plate, and to satisfy hunger and taste buds. Because if it doesn't taste good, you're not going to eat it, and we certainly want you eating healthy as much as possible. So when you're constructing your balanced meal, you want to have the following food groups on your plate: a protein, vegetables and some fruit, healthy fats, and we want you to use herbs and spices as needed to flavor your food. So let's take a look at these food groups in a little bit more detail. So let's look at protein foods, and that's going to be meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, soy products like tempeh and tofu, nuts and seeds, legumes, which are just beans, and cheese and yogurt, and then other dairy foods. And that's going to be whether dairy foods, whether they come from cows, sheep, or goat. Doesn't matter. It's all dairy. Our bodies are going to use the protein from food as the building blocks to create our own proteins in our body, to create and repair our cells, build lean muscle, organs, make hormones and neurotransmitters, build skin cells and hair, nails, and as well as produce immune proteins to help us fight infection. And that's important at different times of the year when we're exposed to more things, or we tend to have more risk of infection. Super important stuff that our protein does. So let's move on to fruits and vegetables. And fruits and vegetables always get lumped together, but I want you to think vegetables and some fruits when we're talking about this category. So hopefully you're clear on what fruits and vegetables are. Most people don't eat enough of these foods, and they lack key vitamins and minerals in their daily diet. The American guidelines are 5 servings a day. However, 7 to 10 servings is my recommendation for optimal nutrition. And although, like I said, fruits and vegetables are in the same category, the majority of those servings should come from vegetables. So, veggies and fruits in every color of the rainbow give us vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, all of your B vitamins, and beta carotene, which is the plant version of vitamin A. They also give us minerals like zinc, magnesium, and calcium. They give us other important nutrients like water and fiber and antioxidant plant compounds. Starches are foods that provide nutrients as well as important levels of fiber, and some act as prebiotics to help our gut function. And a prebiotic, which is different than a prebiotic is the food that we want to feed the bacteria in our guts to keep them happy and healthy. So examples of starches include whole grains, and we're not talking about processed grains like breads and cereals. And even if it says whole grains on the label, if it's processed into those foods, it's not whole grains. And things like sweet potatoes. And then fats. Let's talk about some healthy fats. Adding fats to each meal helps ensure that you get fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and it helps you to absorb them. You actually need the fat in your diet in order to absorb these fat soluble vitamins. It also provides essential fatty acids like omega 3s, omega 6s, and omega 9s that helps keep you feeling satisfied. So, examples of healthy fats include olive oil, coconut oil, butter, avocado, nuts, and seeds. When it comes to portion sizes, so let's talk about this. It can be really tricky to try to calculate how much of everything you're supposed to have, especially when you're out and about and you don't have a scale or you don't have a cup, that you can portion things out in. So there are so many different methods out there, and some are so convoluted that they require a physics degree to figure out. But one method that is both really easy to use and accurate is the hand method of portion control. It's been around for a long time in the nutrition world and easy to use. Like I said, when you're eating out or when you're traveling and you don't have something to measure with like you might have at home. So here's how it works. Your palm here is a serving of protein. Your fist is a serving of vegetables or fruit, and your cupped hand is a serving of starch, and your thumb serves as a measurement when you have a serving of fat. So for women, it's 1 palm of protein, 1 or 2 fists of vegetables or fruit, and 1 thumb of fats per meal. And if you're eating a starch, the portion is 1 cupped hand. And again, I want you to, my take on starches is that you really want to have more vegetables than fruits, and you want to have leafy green or cruciferous vegetables over starchy vegetables. For men, it's going to be 2 palms of protein, 2 fists of vegetables or fruit. Oh, there we go. We're going to have a little celebration about this. Sorry about that. I just want to keep it interesting. I want to keep you involved. 2 thumbs of fat per meal. And the portion for starches is 1 or 2 cupped hands. And remember, that's totally optional. And again, my recommendation is that starches be used sparingly. Now, head on over to your handout for this lesson to learn more about how to create a balanced, nutritious meal in the perfect portion size for your body.